Jesus, I look like shit. Whatever. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. And I'm trying a bit of a different format here. I just want to see if I can get a little bit of variety going on the channel and see how this video does. And if it does well, let's see if we can start showing my ugly mug a little bit more, because I do want to start interacting with you guys in a bit of a different way. But before I get into today's topic, I just want to mention that I am taking mixing gigs at the moment. So if you guys would like to work with me and need help with your music, shoot me an email at divinemotherstudios@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys with details of your project. All right. So this topic was brought up to my attention by a commenter by the name of Serpentsbane96 something. I'll leave the comment here somewhere. And he mentioned on one of my previous videos that there's this video going around from Ed S, a fellow YouTuber, about how basically us guitar players have been dialing in our Ampsims wrong the entire time. And in the comment he mentions that we're supposed to dial down the input knob all the way on our interfaces and then use the trim plugins and our DAW or the plugins themselves to bring the gain back up. Now, the creator of the original video got a bit sciencey for me. I'm no expert in that regards, but basically from my understanding is that there's low-level noise inherently in your pickups, and that noise gets brought up to level with the gain on your interface. Again, don't quote me on this. I could be completely skewing what's going on here, but that is just generally from what I understand. And we are much better off bringing up the gain with the plugin itself and lowering the gain completely off on our interfaces. Apparently that provides a lot more headroom and increased dynamics, as well as less distortion on the actual DI signal for the plugin to be able to respond correctly. That is my general understanding of the technique. I will also be linking to that video in the description below for you guys to check out as well. It's extremely short. It's about maybe 3 minutes or something like that. So I conducted a bit of a test for you guys. Basically what I did was I just recorded myself with my normal setup where I have my input gain at around -12, -9 dB for my guitar DIs, and then I just picked 3 different amp simulators from Brainworks, Neural DSP, and STL Tones, which are all widely available and popular. And for you guys to hear just what my normal setup sounds without any of this extra new technique stuff that we just learned about. And then I'm going to play the same amp sims with the same riffs, now using the Ed S technique where my input gain is all the way down and then I bring up the gain on the plugins instead of my interface. So I'll play you guys that now and I'll catch you guys in a second. Okay, so that's basically the tone test there. I am extremely hard pressed to hear any significant difference in terms of the way that Ampsims responded and the way they felt and and was heard, and all the extra crazy vernacular that us guitar players use to describe sounds and stuff like that. I guess the only one that to me may have had a slight difference was the Neural DSP one. I mean, I guess it sounded a little bit clearer, but I don't know. It could be because I was just playing harder and I was trying to get the saturation that I'm used to from the plugin itself. Now, you did see me kind of messing with the input gain there, and Ed S actually has a Google Sheet where he has recommendations for starting points on your input gain on the plugin itself, depending on the interface that you have. And since I had a Personas on there and he had that listed, I just followed the guidelines that he had on that Google Sheet. I'll also be linking that for you guys on the bottom as well. But again, I followed the instructions on the Google Sheet, and I mean, I think your time is much better suited in learning how to actually track yourself properly, how to edit your audio properly, how to actually edit the drums or program drums or program bass MIDI properly, because I've been sent some files before from clients in the past that weren't that great, and then they're wondering why the mix sounds like shit. It's your time, I think, is a little bit better spent trying to learn the more major moves that are going to actually move your music to a higher standard than something like this. It's good info to have. Even Ed S mentions it on the video itself that it's not supposed to be the be all end all. It's more of a tool, an extra little something that you can add to your toolbox that allows you guys to get a different outcome, I guess. Although the outcome, in my opinion, is very negligible to what the people in the comments of that video were describing they were getting. That being said, I do want to tell you guys a quick story to make my case in point that this may be a case of majoring in minor things. So I have this really good friend of mine, his name is Ricky, and he plays bass for the band Dreamer, which is led by the guitar player Chris Beatty, who is the other guitar player in the Zenith Passage. And I got to hang out with Chris for a couple hours when we were at Kiesel Connect a couple weeks ago. And when I was talking and hanging out with Ricky and Chris, I was like, hey, I really like the tone you guys had on the latest Zenith Passage record. And I asked them, what did you guys use? Like, I'm just curious. I want to see if I can kind of, recreate that tone for myself. And he basically told me that they used the Fortin Cali suite from Neural DSP to create that tone, and that it wasn't even Chris that made the tone, it was Justin McKinney, the other guitar player in the Zenith Passage. And basically they had just sent that preset off to the engineer, and that was basically what ended up on the record. And the point with the story, guys, is that I guarantee you those two guys don't know about this technique, the Ed S technique, the low input gain, and then bring it up after the fact with the input gain on your plugin. I guarantee you they don't know about that shit. And that record sounds phenomenal. It's one of my favorite modern records out right now, and it sounds great. The mix is awesome. Do you think those guys would give a flipping fuck about whatever it is that we're discussing right now? I highly doubt it. I think they're more concerned with creating great music and just getting the music produced and made and created. So again, I'm not trying to knock Ed S or the commenter that left that comment on my video. I think Ed S is actually creating some really cool content, and you guys should totally go over to his channel and check it out and subscribe to his channel because he has really good info on there. But again, even he himself says it. It's just another tool in your toolbox, and it shouldn't be the only way you should do something like that, He has a quote that I'll put up here somewhere on screen of him exactly saying that in the description of his video. And ultimately, it boils down to if it sounds good, it is good. And that's really all there is to it. So guys, try it out for yourselves. Let me know what you guys think about trying this out. I had many people tell me so far that they either love it or they fucking hate it, and all their Ampsims sounds weak now. As far as me and my personal experience with it, I really found no difference in dynamic feel or any other esoteric words that may be going around to describe, guitar tone and stuff like that. All right, guys, so that's the end of the video. I'd appreciate if you guys liked, comment, and subscribed, and share your experiences in the comments below with trying out this technique. I'll catch you guys in the next one.